Hi, welcome to Smosh Mouth. I'm Shayne.
And I'm Amanda, and we have a wonderful guest here with us today. She is the host of Sesh, Christy. Hi.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
So excited.
I'm so excited to be here.
Funny thing is, when I found out you were coming on this podcast, I thought it was so funny because for the past few months, I have heard your voice every morning because my wife, Courtney, watches your show religiously.
So
every
I
morning,
literally just met her.
Yeah.
So great.
She's such a fan, and so every morning I'll be downstairs getting I'll be in another room making breakfast or something, and I'll just hear from the other room and just Justin Bieber is back again.
Yeah, that's me.
That's
it's
you.
Wild.
So excited. So you originally had a YouTube channel called Spill Session, and then
Well, it was that was my podcasty channel, and then I kind of left it be.
You
and
left
now
it
it's
in the ether.
Shorts is on there, yeah.
Cool.
So now you're just Spill Sesh.
Well, it started as this anonymous YouTube channel, almost like Gossip Girl, where I talked about mostly just influencers at first because I felt like traditional media wasn't really covering the influencer space, taking them seriously. But now everyone, I feel like post-COVID, everyone is talking about influencers like celebrities. They're in the tabloids, equally the same as the Kardashians.
They are celebrities.
And
They are. People argue, but
and they're messy.
yes.
They're very messy.
YouTubers are messy.
But they are celebrities. Influencers are definitely celebrities.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to the award shows. They have influence. I think they're celebrities. It's controversial, but I think they are.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
And
Very
I just
cool.
watched your most recent upload, and I was. You have to know something
And now
about me.
you're clued in.
I listen. I love people.com, which I know is so so ridiculous and so different. But I watched yours, and I was like, oh my god. Why am I doing people.com when I have it perfectly succinct with all the pictures? And you're the way you report on things is just so funny and so great. And facts. You get right to it.
Thank
You know,
you.
sometimes
I try.
people go on forever and they're what's the heart of this?
I try to get to the point because I'm that's what everyone's here for, right? But, maybe the most juicy is at the end. But sometimes I'm everyone already knows, especially if we're talking about a situation that's been talked about for so long. I'm all right, everybody already knows. No summary. Let's get to it.
Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely.
So is it just a YouTube channel? You also do a pod.
I had a pod back in the day. Now I kind of have one. It's every Sunday I post a video where I'm on camera. The videos are a little bit longer. It's more of a podcast style. And I'm recapping.
That's not your TCAP.
Yeah, that's the TCAP.
Okay,
I'm recapping the whole week of stuff I didn't
Very
make an
cool.
individual video
Sure.
about. And then on short form, I'm doing content too.
You're doing tons of stuff. You just walked in. We just met you literally 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And we started recording. But you were saying you were up at 4 a.m. this morning to start
was.
watching stuff and getting the info.
Yes.
I was. It's not always like that, but this day in particular, I was I need to watch Call Her Daddy right now. There is tea that is about to be dropping, and she'd been teasing it yesterday, and I made TikToks about it, so I knew as soon as it dropped, I needed to post about it.
And so when you watch it, you're getting everything that you need to do, and then are you making a video right away?
Yeah.
And wanting to post it?
I'm pretty much. I downloaded the podcast and I'm watching it in my editing software. So I'm cutting.
Whoa.
I'm cutting the important parts as I'm watching it and writing out my script of what I'm gonna say.
Wow.
And then I'll take it out right before I'm about to record my voiceover. I'll be okay, this isn't as important as what's at the end of the podcast. So
How many storylines are you following at any given time? Because there's so many things
So
going
many.
on.
So many. I'm just always on my phone. But also I feel I pay attention to this stuff, and so do my friends, that we're all talking about it, having conversations. So it's not I'm really looking
seeking
for it.
it out.
I'm seeking
it's
it
already
out.
it's already in your ether. It's already in your
Yeah.
world. You're already interested in it.
Yeah.
Because I know that this episode's going to come out a little bit later, but currently it's JoJo Siwa, Kim K, Hailey Bieber. That's the vibes that are going on right now. So you're already kind of in it. Now, like, where do you normally watch? Like, where do you?
Yeah,
what do you?
Who's your source?
Yeah. Wait, you don't have to
who
reveal
are your sources?
I'm looking everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like, I mean, I scroll on TikTok and my For You page is so catered to me that it just gives me stories. Sometimes a video will have like no views and I'm like, I need to save this right now. It's going to mean something in a couple of days.
Interesting.
Or like, it's going to fit into some storyline somehow, some way.
Yeah. And you were talking about like with influencers, but sometimes you're covering like Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber. That's not influencers. They're like traditional celebrities. How do you determine? Is it just, this is the story that everyone's talking about?
Hailey Bieber feels influencer to me, though, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she's a celebrity, but she does do more influencery things. I guess she has a YouTube channel.
Her makeup's coming out
She's
in
big
Sephora,
on social media.
Can I ask a question? Because I've been pondering on this. What is an influencer? Like, what is the classification for it? Because I don't think of us at Smosh as being influencers, right? But some people might put us in that category.
Right.
But I think of us as like, we're entertainers, we're comedians. What is the difference? And I guess my thought with influencers is that they're an element of trying to sell something. Is that they work like more closely with like brands or something?
I feel like influencers are people that like got big like on social media, but I feel like the terms are like changing. And I heard someone like this week like on Threads, which I feel like is like an industry Slack.
Yep.
Because whenever I'm on it, it's just industry people that are on there. But they were saying influencer is going out and it's creator. That's the term.
Creator.
Oh, yeah, it's creator. So it's not really influencers. We don't really.
Yeah.
Even though like everyone uses influencers, but I guess like creator defines like a job, but I don't know, because some people create content, but they're not necessarily like influencers where they're like, go and buy this. They are just like making content.
They're like TikTokers that are like watching, like there's one that I'm obsessed with that she's watching like an entire court case and like talking about, she's basically breaking down every day. She's like, I watch this so you don't have to vibes.
I love those.
I
need those
too. I'm addicted. And I'm also like, she had one where she was like, I know I missed yesterday, guys. It was my birthday. And I'm like, girl, go have a birthday.
Forget your birthday. There's a court case.
I was like, I think that's what's different is because like she's doing all these TikToks, right? So there's no like, she's not really, I know she's editing her TikToks, obviously, but they're like not like full edits like yours. Like you have like videos and pictures and like you're pulling from places. So she's like, she could do it constantly, which I'm like, girl, go enjoy your birthday.
Videos. It's like the easiest way to digest, especially the legal stuff. It gets so complicated. And there's complicated. So many terms. I'm like, even if I read the documents, I don't know what's going on.
Nope. Ooh. They're way easier. And she does it, they do it in such like a palatable way where it's like, and what I love about most of them is like, they'll put their like comment on it, like their little like spin on it and have their opinion, but that's not the main part of it.
Yeah.
Like she gets to like, most of them get to the meat of it.
Yeah.
Which is, I feel like a lot, there's some obviously that I'm sure you've watched a bunch where it's like fully their opinion the whole time. Yeah. And there's not much that you can use with that.
No, most of the time if I'm using clips, unless I'm specifically looking for people's opinions, I'm looking for stuff like that just to even get an understanding of what the heck is going on.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That'd be so stressful though to like work in a field where you're trying to get the facts right. I'd be so stressed. Like, you saw how we prep for this. We just sit down, we go, all right, let's vibe.
Yeah.
Because we're not dealing with facts. There's no pressure there. We get to just hang out. But are you ever worried about like, okay, is this source correct? Because there's so many rumors out there.
For sure. I feel like if I'm talking about something that's not 100%, I like say, this is like the rumor that's going around. Yeah. So everybody knows. I don't know. Nobody seems to know. It's not like being confirmed anywhere. And if it is, it's like from XYZ source and I'm not sure about it. Unless the person like directly comes out and says something themselves. Am I like 100%? This is what's going on.
Yeah.
But I just try to source from like news sites and, you know, what people are posting on social media and opinions and just let it know where it came from and what I think about it.
Yeah, from what I've heard, you really do stick to the facts. Like, you're like, this is what's being said, this is what's happening. I don't feel like I've overheard you sharing too much of just straight opinions.
Yeah, I try
which
to
I really
keep
respect.
I try to keep it neutral. Or at least where at the end, like, people can kind of see, like, all the sides and then see how they feel. Because sometimes I'm just interested in knowing, like, what people think.
Yeah.
After digesting all the information.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, I don't even know what I think. So
it's kind of like when, and I know this is kind of past news, but I know it's going to be coming up when the trial comes next year, which is like the whole Blake Lively thing. And it's like, of course, you want to know people's opinions on it. Because that's the best part about that juicy gossip is like people's opinions on it. That's the best part. And people have very strong opinions
people
about it.
People have strong opinions. And that's one where I'm like, I don't even know. Because I've read like hundreds of the pages of all of the court stuff. I mean, I think like one of her amended lawsuits was like 800 pages or something. I'm like going through, reading this thing, and I'm at the end like, I don't even know what to think because you're reading documents from both sides.
Right.
And I'm just like, what?
And the Taylor Swift thing, you're just like, okay.
The Taylor Swift of it all is so insane.
When I heard that, like, okay, so I hear about this. I like how I hear about this stuff. I hear about it third hand. So people here at the office get their sources. They have their sources like you, where they get all their info, and then they relay it to me. Yep. So I get a game of telephone where by the time I've heard it, I don't know what's happening.
And he's always like, whoa.
So Arasha's the Blake Lively source right now. Arasha will be like, okay, let me catch up to speed on what's going on there. And then you and Angela are the Karen Reed trial
We're like
sources.
True crime. We're true crime people.
So you're letting me know.
I do love celebrity gossip so much.
Yeah.
But I also go hard on true crime. That's why I like go down these TikTok dives of the court cases. Sometimes I mean, the Karen Reed trial was last year and I watched the entire court, every minute of it. And I was like, okay, this is a lot because it's just hours and hours and hours of endless information and going back and forth a million times. But like, yeah, and then we'll just tell Shayne whether he likes it or not. He'll be like, good morning. And I'm like, good morning. So Karen Reed, second trial. And I used to tell you people.com stuff, but I'm like so fully, here's the thing.
That's just the...
People.com just, sometimes they post things like, woman took this pill and she... lost a bunch of weight.
Well, you ended up on people.com
huh?
and they said your husband changes his hair a lot.
I did.
What?
So I like kept, obviously I'm pregnant. I kept my pregnancy a secret forever.
What?
No way.
Burrito honey. This episode is brought to you by Aura Frames. Father's Day is coming up, Shayne. What are you going to get the guy who has it all?
I know. My dad is very hard to get gifts for.
Same.
It's very tough. But I think an easy gift that anyone can get their dad is an Aura frame. I got one for my mom forever ago, and she loves it. And I think it could work for my dad too, because you get to put as many photos, video into it before you give it to them, and you could fill it with memories that they're going to love. I feel like any parent would want that.
Yep. It was actually named the best digital photo frame by Wirecutter. And I completely see why. It has unlimited storage. You can share as many videos, photos, memes. You can react to the photos. And also, it's so easy. You just plug it in and start sharing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Aura has a great deal for Father's Day. For a limited time, listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $30 off on their best-selling Carver matte frame. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code SMOSHMOUTH. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Let's get back to the show, Daddy. Oh my God, don't cry. Your dad will get the gift.
I know. I'm thinking about my dad.
Oh my God. You guys aren't close. Oh my God.
I don't know why I'm laughing so hard.
See, I'm not making any comments because of that Blake Lively interview where... What was it? She was on Fallon or Kimmel or something, one of the Jimmys, and he was like, "Congrats, something," and she was like, "What bum?"
No,
or like, what are you talking about?
It wasn't. It was a woman.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got two nice ones.
And they are kind of bumps, aren't they?
No, not bumps. The lovely lady lumps. Check it out.
It was
Well,
her.
that was that, but
She
went. She did another one when she was like very obviously pregnant, and then she said it again, and everyone was like, "What's her deal?"
She was like, "What bump?" And
"Yes,
that
How about your bump? I was like,
know. I'm like, stop.
I saw that. I was like, that's a bummer.
Listen, someone in
mean.
Trader Joe's, a guy who was working was like, "Oh my God, you got a bun in the oven," and everyone's like, "Why did he say that?" And I'm like, "Who cares? It's fine." But could you imagine if I decided to with him? Like,
yeah,
what bun in the oven?
I would
been
never.
awful.
I would never in a million years say anything. Like, because I've seen people out in public who are very pregnant. It's just like, but why comment on it, for one?
Yeah.
But also, what if you're wrong?
I know.
I don't
It's
ca-
like these people obviously were coming from a good place and she was pregnant.
I know. I don't care. When people comment on it, I don't care. I'm like, yeah, I'm pregnant.
I always wonder with like late shows, because don't they pre-plan all that stuff?
I think so. Like, they know what they're talking about.
They have a whole conversation, then they go, okay, here's what we're going to talk about.
No, that's where Blake Lively
fucks
with people.
This is the games she plays.
That's the thing. That's my opinion on Blake Lively. She fucks with people.
I can't keep up with like three of them, like three of the stories going on, because I'll hear about the Blake Lively stuff. I'll be like, all right, that's a bunch of new information from 2 days ago when I last heard about it. And then someone will be like, yeah, well, you know what Hailey Bieber's doing. And I'm like, what's Hailey Bieber doing?
Constance, I got one
and then
of these
I hear
videos.
I'm like, this can't be real.
Oh,
this can't be real.
It's real.
It's real.
Is the Hailey Bieber stuff real?
The stalker stuff?
Okay. Oh,
I
watching Spill Sesh, watching the most recent, watching one of the Spill Sesh. Listen, it's not about the girls anymore. It's not about Selena Gomez or Hailey Bieber anymore. We're thinking it's about Justin Bieber. We're like, what did this guy do to these girls? Because they support each other.
Is that where it's at?
I watched her Spill Sesh.
Okay, that's new. That's new information for me.
As of this week, everyone's like, you know what? I think it's like Justin that, you know, hates these girls. And it's not the girls that don't like each other.
Because we're done, okay? We're done with the witch hunt. Because here's the thing. Selena Gomez is fine if Hailey Bieber wants to put her product in Sephora. She hearted her thing. And I know this because I watched Spill Sesh. And, like, listen, the girls are supporting each other.
They are.
Why are we never looking at the man?
That's a good question. I feel like I feel like my dad when my dad walks in on halfway through a movie and he's like, "So is that the bad guy?" And you're like, "Not technically the bad guy. What's going on?" He's like, "Got it." I will say in the few snippets of seeing stuff, I saw stuff where they were talking about Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber, and they're like, "Oh my God, you can tell he hates her." And they show all these clips where she's like talking, he's just like, "Cool, babe," and everyone's like, "See?" And I was like, "Have you never met a straight guy?" I was like, "This is like 90% of us. We're like, look at this amazing thing I did," and the guy's like, "Sick, babe."
Yeah, you guys suck.
He doesn't help her.
Like he's being a straight dude there. Not good. Not saying that's good.
No, it's not.
Saying
He
it's
doesn't
bad.
help her ever. He
slammed
knows.
the door on her a while ago.
Did.
And we've all
He
seen that clip. He slammed the door on her and she was like,
He told her that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. I'm like, why would you say that?
And wait, wasn't she just
Yeah, but like his congrats babe post was, one time Hales and I got into a fight and I told her that she would never be on the cover. And he was like, sadly, I was mistaken.
Could you imagine? Here's the thing.
Sadly.
It's all Justin Bieber. Baby, no. Listen, you, Justin Bieber. No, I'm just kidding.
I got served I think it was it Vogue or was it GQ? Who does the like, what's in my bag?
Yes,
Vogue.
she did the
And
video.
She did this. I got served this where she's like, these are the books I'm reading. And it was Nietzsche and Kant, like two philosophers. Like, if you want to read their books, okay, good luck, have fun. But she's like, I've reread this so many times. And it was like the works of Immanuel Kant. And I was like, either you're for real and okay, or this is the funniest joke anyone's ever done.
She was trolling the whole video.
That's pretty great. That's really funny.
I liked it because she was like, oh, this is like my favorite perfume. And it was like Nepo on it. And then she pulled out like all these phones and she was like,
it was Axe body spray.
Yeah, right.
She's like, I got this from Justin.
This is
How
his
he keeps
favorite.
me around. Yeah, she was trolling like that whole video. She was like,
that's great.
I have all these phones, you know, for stalking and fake accounts.
She was calling everyone out in the comments. She was like, she was basically saying like, I read what you guys write. And I think that she genuinely was like, I'm going to have a family, I'm going to have a kid, and everyone's going to stop. And it's like, no one's going to stop. No one ever. Do you think that they stopped Britney Spears? Like, no one ever stops. And I feel like that's why it's almost like Justin Bieber was, you know, an accomplished musician. And now he's like in this weird creator phase, even though he's not even, but it's like, because he's in that world.
It's giving Kanye to me. A little Kanye. It's giving a little Kanye. But I think I don't know who he's working with right now. because he's not with Scooter anymore, and he fired like his business manager. So I feel like he's like kind of free for the first time ever, and so he's just like, I'm just gonna do whatever. And you know, when you're in like the music making zone, you're just like, I'm so artistic, like my vision, but no one sees it. Everyone's like, oh, you're crazy.
Everyone's like,
I feel like that's what's going on.
You're out of touch.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what happens. There's a cycle. They start to get out of touch because they're done. They're done like with all the hate and everything, and so they start to be like, oh, it. Like, I'm going to be done. Kind of like what's happening with Britney Spears. But she got kicked off a plane because she lit up a cigarette recently.
I did see that. Yeah, I don't know.
Did you hear about that?
I did not. I did not hear about that.
And she said sorry.
Okay.
And she meant it.
Okay.
That's what she said. Yeah. But anyways, I got on people pretty cool shit because...
You're like,
really.
Kevin Costner's not coming back for Yellowstone. You hear about that?
He got fired.
He got fired from Yellowstone?
I thought he
We're
left.
not sure.
I don't.
Whoa.
Something
T.
didn't happen because he did that freaking Horizon movie that was not worth it.
It was not worth it. And didn't he put his son in it?
I don't
See, we
I
have
don't
all the
know.
information here at Smosh.
There was
now.
like so many parts too. I saw the first part.
You did?
Yeah, I watched the first movie.
What was that, 2 hours?
It was so
3
long.
hours?
It was so. I mean, a couple fast forwarding moments because we were just like, "What's going on?"
You were like,
The
you want a horse.
The ending was kind of like a montage of, I think, what's supposed to happen in the other movies, but they're not happening. So they just threw it in the ending.
Oh,
I don't know.
Kevin.
rough.
It was
Rough.
Yeah, I don't know if he got fired. I don't think he did, but they had creative differences, him and Taylor Sheridan. And it was like...
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. And I'm not going to spoil it, what happened.
That'd be a really funny, like a T YouTube channel, but you only talk about celebrities that are 70 plus.
Wait. Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Don't give away that idea. That's
Okay.
pretty brilliant.
Pretty
what would it
gold.
be called?
Golden T.
No, it's 17.
Come on.
17.
70. Okay, so this is why you're
Golden
the professional.
tea. Get the out of here.
I'm the
It's
idiot.
the Golden Bachelor.
Yeah, Golden Bachelor, Golden Tea.
Sorry.
Old milk.
Sorry.
Spilled old milk. Spilling
Spilled
milk
milk.
currently.
Oh my
Jesus.
Whoops.
Okay, there is a celebrity I want to talk about that I've been thinking about lately. Because
Okay.
I think he's so funny. I want to do an impression of him really bad. And I was going through some of your videos and I saw you talked about him because I think it's really funny that the internet kind of hates him. Doesn't hate him, but they're just like ragging on him a lot because he hasn't done anything too problematic.
Wait.
Can you guess who it is?
Benson?
It's Benson Boone. This guy is so funny.
Flips.
Yes.
Let's see it.
Of course.
So I realized something.
Booning. Benson is booning.
I've come up with a theory here.
that he
All
likes
right?
to flip.
This is related to another celebrity who I think was the previous version of Benson Boone.
Oh, who?
Okay, let me get into this.
Okay, all right.
So
Here.
I've come up with a little dilemma, a PR dilemma, and I call it the backflip dilemma. Right? So you can do a backflip, cool thing, right? So cool. It takes a lot of work to be able to do a flip, right? And people will respect you and like you if you can do a flip. Here's the problem. If you can do a backflip or a front flip, you can't do it though. Because if you do it too often, you start to lose coolness, right? Because it comes across desperate. This is what's happening to Benson Boone, and this is what happened to Taylor Lautner. Did too many flips. You can't do too many
Oh
flips.
my
You
gosh,
gotta
I forgot
save the
about this.
flips.
We forgot
You
about
gotta
Taylor
save
Lautner.
the flips. It happened to him, and it's like, hey, you
my gosh.
do it. Be able to do a flip, doing it by surprise. You're a jock. You're cool. Whoa, awesome. Do them too much. You're a dork.
Well, we blacked that out of
We
our
did.
memory
We
because
did.
after Twilight it got so awkward because she never chose him, obviously, and so after Twilight we went, "Where'd you go, buddy?" And I think he did like one was it Eagle Eye? No, he did like one.
I know
weird,
what you're talking about. He did the action abducted, right? Wasn't
It
it?
was
Abducted?
random stuff.
It was random,
Yeah.
and then he did flips, and then they
Yes.
cut him from.
He did too many flips.
So they edited him
did.
out. He's not even in any of the Twilights. They released him, and I don't know. He's not even there. They edited him out.
they had George Lucas re-edit them
I
without him.
can't.
It's just a weird wolf guy.
But Benson Boone is so funny because I saw a TikTok of him like a year or so ago, and he does the thing where he did a front flip off like a piano onto like the
Yeah.
lower stage.
Yeah.
And I remember in that moment, like, look, I have my insecurities. I remember just being like, wow, that guy is so cool, and I'll never be
Yeah.
that cool because I can't do that. But then I saw a couple more flips, and I was
Yeah.
like, hey man, you gotta.
We gotta
Your
chill out.
manager, or someone needs to be like, hey, cool it on the flips, or you're gonna be known as Flip Guy.
Yeah, and the jumpsuits.
And the
They're getting
jumpsuits.
really high up.
They
High
are.
up. Like are his balls okay?
When he does the
'Cause-
flips.
Yeah, he said they weren't. One time, I think it was the Grammys, maybe, he was wearing one that was really tight, and he was like, you guys, it hurt.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
I saw it sliced through them. I was like, bro. I was like, Benson.
It's like when you're on a roller coaster doing the flip, you're like, oh!
I was like, Benson, something's slicing. And it doesn't look good.
Oh, no.
And he's like,
oh,
what? What do you think about Benson Boone?
No. You
And
know,
you're suddenly like, he's actually my favorite person. I really hate this.
He has a great voice.
there is just so much being said about him. I like his music is the thing. I like his mystical, magical moonbeam
Yeah.
ice cream.
Yes.
All I hear is, if we get copyright struck for that, no way.
Come on.
You hit
No.
it too hard.
Benson's gonna be scrolling. He's gonna be like, and he's gonna do a flip, step on his tippy toes, and copyright
Play
strike
piano
us.
with his little feet.
I've been seeing
Yeah.
the tippy toes stuff too.
The tippy toes. That's the thing. There's so much being said about him that I'm like, no. I think we need a little less of you or something, just for a little while.
It's a lot.
Some people were starting to compare him to JoJo Siwa. I know.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Construction hat and construction boots. Yikes.
Because they were saying the costumes and
It's a
the
lot.
onstage presence is different than when he's off stage, because there's pictures of him on his Instagram where he's like at home and he's just like in a t-shirt and cargos, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, that's not the same guy that's super colorful on stage. And
No.
then
But is
there
he supposed to wear them at home?
I think they were like,
No.
he doesn't
Ouch.
have like style.
He's just kind of.
He's like a character.
He's touching in like the Harry Styles vibes,
Yeah.
right? And he's like maybe a little.
He also
JoJo
has the
Siwa.
mullet mustache combo.
He does.
He's kind of firing at all cylinders.
Guys,
right
he was
now.
on He
was
did
on
American
American
Idol.
He was on American Idol.
Oh,
Is that where he got
yeah.
his start?
Yes.
And when he got his start, he just looked like a hometown boy.
Yeah,
Well,
he did.
that's all he is.
But they were
Yeah.
saying he's just like not authentic, which is why people aren't connecting with him and like hating on him a bit. And then it's like religion's getting involved. People are like, I hear the Mormonism in the songs, which I'm like, okay, what does that even mean?
Is he a Mormon?
He's taking a break.
Oh, he's taking a break and zipping up his suit. He's taking a break and zipping it up.
He's putting it on pause.
He's putting on pause.
You know,
Okay.
when you do that.
Yeah, you put Mormonism on pause and you zip up and
Like
gear up.
the flips are so Mormon coded. I'm like, okay.
That's so
They are.
funny.
They're kind of like
A Mormon
church.
flip?
They're like
yeah. I don't
church
know.
vibes. You're
That's
so
what everyone's
right.
saying.
And he's dating someone, right?
He is.
Who's he dating?
I think
know?
her name is
Jesus?
Maggie. He does mention Jesus in a song he wrote about her. He's like, the
Kind of.
only love you've ever known is Jesus, I think is the line in the song.
Okay.
So he's comparing his girlfriend to Jesus. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't get to see it, but when he's doing the flip, he does this.
Yeah.
He's doing
Super quick.
That's
mid
what
flip.
it is.
Wait,
That's
has
what
he
it
done
is.
backward? I think he only does forward.
I think you know what? I
don't
think I'm
know.
wrong. I think he only does front flips. Taylor Lautner did back flips.
and that's what got him done.
But I think the same physics PR stuff applies. It does damage your
I
reputation.
forgot about those flips.
The flips, nobody's talking
How
about the
could
flips.
you
Because I saw
forget?
your video and you're like, people are trying to figure out why they don't like him. I was like, it's the flips, man.
It's because it's too much.
It's too many flips. Everybody knows this. Like, remember in elementary school, it was either the person who does flips and they just find a reason to do flips, or there's the person who can sing really well, but they find every opportunity to sing.
sing.
And you're like, we get it, you can sing really well, but when you do it all the time, it's not special.
You have to be someone different. You have to be like Lady Gaga, who would remember when she first kind of started and she played the piano all crazy, and that was like
Lady
her
Gaga
thing?
did it so well. It's kind of weird to think about how much she did, and it never felt like.
because she always switched it up, and
Do you
she
think it
didn't
was a
care.
different
I
era?
think it was also like that's who she
That's who
is.
she is.
Truly is.
Because also like no one's really calling out Harry Styles. They're like he's authentically just being
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah.
And in his like off time, but there was that picture that went viral of him like recently where he's in these like really, really short shorts and like his legs are crossed and everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
Harry?
Harry, is that you?
So I'm like, that's how he is off stage now.
Yeah.
Benson just needs some short shorts.
Benson needs to commit fully.
His
You either need to stop doing backflips or you need to do them all the time.
If he had short shorts, like let his balls just breathe, man.
That could be a thing.
Stop
It's like
getting up there.
hey, look, gym coach aesthetic, right? Just go.
You know, with this stash, he just needs like the headband, and suddenly he's like
so
one
right.
of those like old gym teachers.
Yeah.
You're so
That's
right.
like
Go
honestly
for that.
like a little creepy though, where they have like the suspenders.
Yeah. So you guys want him to be like Jim Cota, where he sits and he.
Hey, look,
balls pop out?
I'm just pitching ideas. I'm not a PR rep, but
So who else? Okay, so like Benson Boone and JoJo are kind of on that. Is there anyone else currently that's like in that space that we're like, if you do that one more thing,
well, JoJo's in that space because she
JoJo-
cheated on
she's
her
been
partner.
in that space.
She cheated on her partner like on public TV.
I think
right?
she's been-
Am I
That
wrong?
whole story is so crazy to me, and it's unfolding like as we speak.
This is once again, I'm hearing about this from
is
like
Big Brother? Was she
She was on Celebrity Big Brother
Okay,
UK.
yeah.
and-
with the
Chris Hughes, he's
Mm-hmm.
from Love Island, and JoJo went on with a partner, and then throughout the show, she's getting really close with Chris, and everyone's like, you guys are cuddling, forehead kisses, back scratches, you're in the bed together, you're in the hot tub together. It's getting a little intimate. If I was your partner, I'd be pretty upset.
Yeah.
right.
And she gets off the show, and she's like, oh, we're just friends. But her and her partner break up. And the partner gets online and is like, I thought maybe, hopefully, everyone online was just like getting it wrong and we were going to get back together. And JoJo was going to be like, it was all for the show. It was all, entertainment. But I got dumped at the rap party.
Whoa!
at the rap
At
party?
the rap party? She was
Ooh.
there?
That's a
She
rough
flew.
place to
She
get
flew
dumped.
24 hours because she lives in Australia. She flew 24 hours to go get dumped. I think JoJo had gotten the ticket like before. Yeah, JoJo bought Kath a plane ticket. I think prior to the show ending.
Oh, because they were like, oh, we're together.
Yeah,
this is
you'll
great.
be at the finale.
So that's pretty messed up not to break up with your partner at that distance and then let them fly across the
24
country.
hours.
Yeah,
24-hour flight?
24 hours.
Yeah.
Apparently, I was.
Were
like,
they on the
whoa.
moon?
Oh, you wish. You imagine JoJo Siwa's dating someone on the moon? I mean, I can
believe
see
that.
it.
I
Perry.
believe that. Oh my god.
Don't even get me
Katy
started
Perry.
with
That
Katy
was
Perry.
also really funny. That's my favorite type of celebrity gossip is when a celebrity does something just cringe. Right? It's not like problematic on like an extreme
But she thought
level.
it was
It's like, oh,
the
One
moment
for mankind.
yes. It felt like we got the Imagine video again.
She was like, oh, God, yeah. It gave Imagine Video vibes.
It did.
And it was like Gayle King, which, listen, all these videos made me laugh.
When they kissed the ground, I was like, nobody made you go.
Nobody
one
made you go. And also,
Thank God we're back.
Gayle King was like, I was having a really good time. Every clip of her is like,
know.
she rings the bell. She's like,
Miserable.
And Oprah's like, my friend, no. And it's like, Oprah, she's choosing to do this. She's not saving the world. This isn't Armageddon.
Yeah.
Like, they all are deciding to do this. And it was 11 minutes, right?
Something of the sort. It was really short. I couldn't
quick.
believe it. I honestly, when they first announced this, I thought, oh, okay. I think I just thought that they were part of something way bigger than
And they
what
thought
it
that
actually
too.
was.
They
Yeah,
thought that
They
too.
did too. When I found out they were only there for a few minutes, I was like, what the heck? Katy Perry's like, I was the first person to announce their tour set list in space. I was like, wow.
And her tour is going so well currently. I'm loving the clips of her being like, and she's got
The
these like,
dancing
she's got these like
wow.
space people who are like, oh, and she's like, It's the weirdest.
No, it was her
clips.
like with the, what was it? Did she have like a flower or something? What did she have? Like she was like doing
yeah,
like
she-
selfies.
yeah.
She brought
and
a
stuff.
daisy
brought a
because
daisy.
her daughter's name is Daisy.
Daisy.
You're up in space. You get to go to space for 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And you choose to film content like you're doing a selfie video. I'm like, we're so
Well,
cooked.
They asked her to sing one of her songs and she refused because that's not
Yes.
what the mission was
Guys,
about.
we're here for space. What was their mission? Was it like a legitimate mission?
To get blowouts, first of all. Their mission was to get Brazilian blowouts.
Yes.
Let's be real. To get cinched suits.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cinched. Like Taylor's literally like they were like They corseted those spacesuits.
Our mission is to be snatched and to slay.
No, honestly, to slay space. That was the goal.
And they did.
That was their mission, and to take a bunch of selfies with the moon in the background.
Yeah, it was just space tourism. Like,
Yeah.
you could pay to go tomorrow if you wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
I've heard about this.
And
so that was this more for that space tourism. This was like advertising probably for them.
Yeah.
Because it was Amazon's like big thing, wasn't it?
I think
Yeah,
so.
Jeff Bezos' space tourism company, rocket,
Yeah.
something of the sorts.
The future villain 500 years from now.
Yeah, exactly.
500 years from now.
sent
it's
his
like,
wife up
His
there.
wife went on the trip.
Okay. Yeah.
But this was the first time that it was going to be all females going. But they had a bunch of people that have gone prior to this. But this was all female. So then it became like this really big spectacle because of that. Which Gail tried to defend. She was like, no one's saying this when the men have gone. But it's like, okay, but no one was making it this big of a deal where
but it wasn't
people actually
like
knew what it was.
freaking Aerosmith or like famous rock stars going up there. It was like scientists, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I think it was, there were like
I
rich
think it's-
celebrity.
No,
Yeah.
you're
I
right.
think Ashton Kutcher almost went, but Mila Kunis told him not to do it.
I think wasn't a lot
I
of the
wonder
criticism.
why.
It's like we're trying to pitch this as being like this big benevolent thing, but it's still like at the heart of it, it's like, yeah, we don't love that like people with enough money can leave the planet is like the future emphasis of this.
I think
don't know.
I think
yeah,
if it wasn't
the-
Katy Perry, I think if it was like
I just think it felt like Imagine, where it's like, guys, we're doing something really special. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're all still rich people just going
No.
to space. That's cool. It felt like The Boys,
Yeah.
right? It was.
yeah.
That was.
Allegedly, the long-term goal is to try and like get more research to potentially live in space. I think that is the goal.
For
So it's
billionaires
like
to live in
yes,
space.
it's like each trip is for research purposes, but the people inside, it's not always because they're involved in that field.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I definitely
Well-
I saw them getting made fun of on the internet too, because at some point in an interview they're like, "Yeah, we're astronauts," and people were like, "No, you're not."
I couldn't.
Me in the waiting room of a hospital. I'm a doctor because I'm here.
Those clips had me in tears. It was like, so Katie, you're an astronaut. And she was like,
That was crazy.
what a journey. What a journey. 11 minutes. We went up and it was like, were we gonna come back? And it was like, yeah, you actually you were and you did. And you kissed the ground.
When I sang extraterrestrial, I never thought I was singing about myself,
yeah,
but I was.
Oh my
I
gosh.
can't. She's like, I'm the dark horse.
I'm the dark horse.
It's crazy. And what's crazy, I like Katy Perry's music. She genuinely is that person. She's always been that person. She always goes above and beyond. Remember when she did the Super Bowl and she came out on like a lion
Oh.
or
Yeah.
some shit?
Look, she's providing content for the masses. We
She
can't
is.
we can't
Yeah.
deny that.
Yeah. She's great.
Is it what she thinks she's making? I don't know.
I just can't stand when people take it so over the top.
The whole
Oh,
thing
for
was over the
sure.
top. It was so over the top. That's why they got so much backlash. But
Yeah.
And also, don't you have
know.
to train? Did they train?
I don't know for the 11-minute ride,
know.
right? Because, like, I know if you're going to space, well, because those other astronauts were stuck in space for 8 months. And it's like, so they
I
get
remember
back,
that.
and they're
The
like,
guy-
oh, was
yeah.
your mission hard?
Yeah.
Oh, you had a tough mission?
Yeah, they like left their
Oh.
family. They weren't even sure they were going to come back.
How long were you guys in space? Oh, 11 minutes?
Oh.
Whoa.
Whoa, 8 months.
Kissing the ground.
I missed my
Kissing
daughter's
the
ballet performance 17 times. Like, hey, isn't in the movies, like the 90s movies, don't they have to train? Don't they have to go underwater?
I thought they
have
did.
to-
But they also have to keep that ship, like, operating, right? Like, the astronauts that were up there for
But I
8
thought
months.
it was just even to be able to move around, like the pressure,
You
the
have to
breathing.
train.
They're just built like
something.
that.
I don't know.
They train for a couple days.
Oh, they trained for
couple
they trained for a
days?
couple days.
Zero gravity.
Oh.
I want.
Me before a half marathon.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm gonna go for a run
Hey,
today.
babe,
I'll
I'm
be
going
ready.
out for a run. Be back in 20. Like, I guess I wanted the training. I wanted their hair to be like up. I wanted
Tousled.
them to be ready to go. But yet it was like, it
was a
like
diva mission.
It was like a Medi Spa picture. It was like a billboard for its like hair. It was like Chaz Dean's hair. Do you guys know who Chaz Dean is?
That sounds familiar.
Maybe there's just one part in Hollywood where he has one billboard. He's that famous hairstylist.
I know who you're talking about. In
I
LA, there's
can't.
billboards everywhere
Do you
for
know
like
who he is?
I don't think so.
He's this hairstylist who's been around forever. forever. And he looks like a lion. Like he has long, gorgeous hair.
Like maybe.
But his billboards are so.
He has a billboard like in the middle of Hollywood.
Yeah.
What?
And it's him just like,
I must have seen.
And the girls are always like, and it
Is she
felt
getting a
very
picture
much
for
like
me?
The Mission.
there are so many billboards around LA.
There are.
And they're wild.
That's Chastain. Look at him.
Look at him.
Diva.
Majestic.
Oh, he is such a diva.
Send him to space.
He's such a diva.
That's how their
aliens-
hair should have been.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. But yet it was a little like, you straightened that a lot. Those ends.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, we're done talking about the Katy Perry because I went on a
Done.
tangent when it was
Done.
happening. So,
Done talking about it.
Is there anyone that you like? Is there like a celebrity that you love that you're like, oh my God, I love reporting on this person. They're so funny. I love everything they do.
I mean, I feel like everyone that I talk about, I'm like paying attention to because I do like them. Like I like
Yes.
Justin, I like Haley, I like them
Yes.
together. I like paying it. I like keeping up with the Kardashians. I love Taylor Swift. So her involvement in this Justin
You're
and
like-
Blake, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then yesterday, I'm like reading about how there was like this whole thing a couple weeks ago where Taylor was getting subpoenaed in the Blake and Justin
Yes.
case.
Yep.
I heard about that.
Yep.
And if I'm
it
hearing
came through the
about it, it's
grapevine.
crazy.
Blake called her dragons.
Yes, and apparently,
Just
so
so
then
weird.
Justin's lawyer was saying that Blake, he had gotten a phone call from someone close to Taylor that said Blake was threatening to release like their text messages if Taylor did not post that she supported Blake. And this was like apparently post Super Bowl. She didn't go to the Super Bowl with Taylor, but she wanted everybody, the public, to know Taylor supports me. So she's like, can you post? And so Brian Friedman, which is Justin's lawyer, was like, I got a call that this 100% happened. And like Blake also wanted her to delete text messages. So I was like, okay, what does that even mean? She's going to release text messages, but then deleting text messages.
Yeah.
Like, and then he like doubled down. Like he signed this. He was like, under penalty of perjury, like this is 100% the truth that I got this call. And then I'm reading this week that it was her dad. Apparently it was her dad, Taylor Swift's dad, allegedly was the one that like phoned up Brian Friedman and was like, but he said it was because then they would like take the subpoena away.
Doesn't she not have like the best relationship with her dad? It's like some
I think
weird.
she does, but then like there's like business stuff that's happened,
Yeah.
but I think they're on good terms.
I feel like you name a celebrity and it's like, are they on good terms with their dad? Probably not.
Probably not.
I feel
Probably
like
not.
you could bet most of them. Wow.
How
Yeah, that
can
one's crazy.
This is what drives me crazy is like, how can a lawyer reveal that before? I thought they had to keep everything that they were bringing to the court case like secret.
I think it's because the paperwork
public.
is public.
Got it.
But he is also just very public. He's done like a lot of
very public.
interviews, but these papers were like submitted and it's public.
Interesting.
So do we have any update on like what Taylor Swift's decision is?
I think she's out now. I
She's out.
think
She's
She's
not-
like, I'm not releasing anything and I'm
I
not
think-
posting.
Yeah, I think because I don't know, something about like this this information or whatever. I don't think she's gonna be involved. I don't know. It gets a little too legal there.
But I don't think
Yeah.
that her and Blake Lively are friends anymore.
There's like no way. I saw they said that Travis Kelce unfollowed Ryan Reynolds, so I was like, oh, that's gotta be
Can you
something.
Fucking believe it? Can you fucking believe it? He didn't win the Super Bowl and he unfollowed Ryan Reynolds. Who's gonna watch Deadpool? Nobody.
Who's gonna watch it? That's the only fan they have. It's so
I
funny
can't.
how, because I don't keep up with like the celebrity stuff as much, but I watch football. And like when the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce stuff started, like the football world got all into it. It was so interesting.
course.
I love it.
They got
I'm
so
spending-
hooked.
I love
I'm
it.
watching Kansas City games.
I know, right? Go Kansas City. Hell yeah.
Yeah, guys.
Ice Spice is there.
Very
Taylor
cool.
Swift is there. We love Kansas
love
City.
I love
that.
football.
When they didn't win the Super Bowl, we were like, what the
Devastated.
Shayne didn't want Kansas City to win.
I fear like no one
Neither
in
did
the
my
football
mom.
world that is like, except if you're in Kansas City, was like definitely not rooting for them.
They were like, we don't want. But I will say it made the Kelce brothers. Kelce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. The Kelce brothers podcast blow up.
Yeah.
They do a podcast together.
And
then they're
he's very
partners.
entertaining. He's very entertaining.
Yeah.
He's also great at what he does.
Yeah, yeah,
And his
yeah.
brother's awesome too.
I love Jason.
Wow.
Yeah, Jason Kelsey's the man.
Oh my God.
And his wife,
She's a
Kylie,
Yes.
has a podcast now too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I love
and she's
her.
a massive. She was a sports player too? Am I wrong? Yeah, she
Yeah.
was a huge sports player. Anyways,
So wild.
stuff is wild. There was something going back to you. Because we're talking about all this celebrity gossip, but something that was fascinating to me is you were a anonymous, faceless YouTuber for a long time.
Yep.
Like that's where you got your start. I pulled up I saw a Time magazine article where it was like around like 2023 when you were like,
Yes.
oh, revealed who you are. What made you decide to like reveal your face?
It was honestly really impulsive because I never thought I was going to do it. But then I was like, well, to kind of just expand and do more things, it kind of felt like the only option.
Yeah.
I was like, everything's like going so well, but I'm only really like doing one thing. And I'm like, I kind of want to diversify
Yeah.
the content that
Sure.
I'm making, get more creative. So I was like, all right, let's do this thing.
Was it so scary?
Yes, I was like sitting there with the video for like a month. We had like filmed it and I wasn't going to post it for a month. And that day I was just like, okay, I guess I'm going to make it public. I was freaking out. I was like, all right, I don't know how the heck this is going to go.
It's scary.
And I also didn't tease it at all. I was just like, I'm just
Done.
going to do it. Yeah.
Well,
I
'cause
kind of like that.
are you ever scared? I mean, if you're a good person, you don't have to worry about it. But like, are you ever scared about like, what if I end up in like drama, or what if I like, or just
Yeah.
people wanting to know more information about your personal life? Like, is that ever a scary thought for you? Because like,
Yeah.
deal with it sometimes, you know?
I think like before the face reveal, yes, I thought about it like all the time. And honestly, I was more paranoid about it before because I was just had like my whole identity to hide. So I'm like, if
Yeah.
people found out about me, and I also feel like when you're anonymous, people are more curious. They're like digging.
They're like, it's a secret.
Yeah. Now you would like think I'd be like more worried, but I'm just like, okay, well,
Interesting.
here I am.
And do people see you out in public and they're like, oh,
It's happened, not often, but like I did go to the Trisha Paytas live show and people were like, oh my gosh. And I was like, what the heck?
was that so
I was just
bizarre?
like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, I can't even believe people watch my videos. So
Your videos are so great though.
Because you're also you are sometimes a co-host on that show. Am I right? On Just Trish?
I did co-host once, yeah.
Okay, cool.
What was that
That's-
like? Was it fun?
It was so fun. I was like, she like DM'd me that Oscar was going to be out of town and I was so excited. I was like, I love watching her podcast and just followed Trisha for so long and like covered her and the whole journey. So I'm like, all right, like I'm super game.
Yeah, and you couldn't have done that before your face reveal. Like
No.
okay, when you didn't reveal who you were, your friends knew
Yeah.
and family, and they
Yeah.
had to. Were you kind of on them all the time of like, don't?
Not really. I mean, I guess it was just hard like when we would go out and people would be like, so what do you do? I'm like, oh, right.
Right.
Just
Accountant.
freelance journalism. It's, yeah, we don't need to get into it.
Right.
And my parents had no idea what to say about
Of
what
course.
their kid did.
Of course.
Yeah.
They don't.
They still. I mean, they don't know what to
They're
say.
still
about
trying to
barely
figure it
though, yeah.
out.
They're like, yeah, she does, stuff on the internet. I'm like, Mom,
Then it starts to sound like OnlyFans-y.
No, literally, my uncle went, are you on OnlyFans?
No way.
Yes, last year. And my sister was like, God, no, can we just, and he was like, you on OnlyFans? And I'm like, yeah, we gotta stop saying internet stuff. It just doesn't sound good.
Internet stuff. What's your uncle using the internet for? That's the good question.
I don't know.
If internet
And the
stuff
fact that he
immediately
knew
becomes
about OnlyFans, I was like, I don't want to know, and I don't want to go down that path.
yeah,
No.
it's probably smart.
Feet stuff.
Probably
Who knows?
smart. Okay. Well, all right.
My brain goes there.
Yeah.
It's when you're like being secretive about internet stuff. That's when it starts to be like,
What do you do?
you must be on some other part.
Exactly. But it's like, but essentially, I would call you like a journalist, like
You're
a reporter.
journalist, yeah.
I did work at TMZ before this.
Whoa.
That's wild.
I didn't know that.
You were in that bullpen?
But like I didn't write for the site. I just scrolled Instagram like all day long and like collected pictures. So that was like my job. I started as an intern and then I was in the photo galleries department.
Okay, so you found all the photos and kind of like sent them to the editor to kind of like
So we had like a mini department. It was just like 3 people. It was like me, this other girl, and our boss. And then we would just like scroll Instagram and be like, okay, this person's on vacation and this person posted this picture. And then we'd be like, okay, which one do you want on the site tomorrow?
That's fascinating.
So you were kind of like seeing where they were at, like the updates on them.
Yeah, like just like what was like current photo wise.
And
like,
when
on
did
socials.
you, like, when were you like, oh, I want to actually write about this, or I have a lot of things to say about this? Like, when was that?
I mean, it was mostly just, I think like, well, I started my channel in 2018, and it was mostly because I saw faceless videos on YouTube of people talking about influencer news.
Yep.
And it was just like text on the screen at the time, and I was like, oh, I could totally do that. And I loved YouTube. So I was always watching YouTubers. I'm like, if people care about their lives like I do, this will be great.
Yeah.
And then I just kept it up. Now I talk about celebrities and influencers, but at the time it was like mostly just YouTube drama. So that's kind of where it began. It had like nothing to do with like what I was doing at work. I was just like, okay, like maybe I could talk about YouTubers.
And that was just a side thing.
Yeah, it was just my side thing.
Wow.
Holy crap.
And at that time, TMZ was not covering YouTubers at all, man.
No.
They missed
covered, like,
Dear
a
Sister
l-
entirely.
It was like, I remember a little, maybe they covered the Tati James Coachella gummy situation, but it wasn't like how they would like today.
Right.
Interesting.
Does TMZ still do just celebrities too? Don't they also do influencers?
Yeah,
and
they talk
everything?
about
little bit.
influencers now. Like, I thought they did like Remy Ashton's Vegas bachelorette party. I was like, who? Because that was like my job, like to make the photo galleries. I was like, who is doing that right now that like likes Remy? Because I know that's why that was pitched. And I know some people were like, she paid them. I was like, she didn't pay them. Someone that works there just like must like her and be like, someone else is gonna like her too.
Right, because people definitely probably pay TMZ.
I don't think so. Not that I know of.
Something I learned, it
Interesting.
was like, after a few years, was like, oh, people do pay paparazzi to show up places to get photos, right? Like, that is
That's the thing, I don't know.
But I also think
know.
paparazzi does show up unannounced a lot, too.
I think that they can call, but okay, so like there's different paparazzi websites that like individual paparazzi guys, they're usually freelancers, and they will just go to all of these locations and sell whatever content they get to these sites. And like sites like E or People or TMZ will buy these videos from these websites.
Interesting.
And you would never be interested in going to specific places and like actually interviewing reporting style. Would you be interested in that? Or is it more enjoyable to gather and then make your video?
It is sometimes more fun or like less stressful to just like sit at home and gather. But I've definitely been there where I'm like on the carpet and like interviewing stuff. That was like in my like TMZ days, I did that. I like freelance on the side.
Do you like that?
I did. It was fun. It was exciting, but definitely like stressful.
Yeah.
I could never.
I would find it very stressful. I feel like I like kind of interviewing people, but like I would find that very stressful because I always feel like I'm like taking away from people's like enjoyment. I'm like, hey, get
over here, buddy.
I had this experience the other night. I went to an Apple TV FYC event for like their Emmy consideration.
Nice.
And it was for the studio. I don't know if you guys are watching. It was Seth Rogen.
Yes.
So
Stressful show.
it's so stressful, but it's so good and like so true to the industry. But because all the Emmy voters are there, they're like, the cast is like prepped that they're going to be talking to all the people that are in attendance.
Right.
And I had gone to a previous event that Monday for Netflix's The Four Seasons.
Oh,
it's like
nice.
Tina Fey's show.
I actually watched all of it.
It's so good.
Alan
I saw
wrote
the
the
first
movie,
3.
and then yeah.
Yes, they did after the movie. And I love the cast.
Such a good
so
cast.
good. And at that event, there's like a meet and greet after. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, what? There's like a line for each actor in the show. And they're all taking like selfies and stuff. I'm like, what? And so then I'm at the Apple event and they're prepping for it to be like the same way. I'm like, this just must be how the FYC
doing
events
things now.
go. What? And so I get there, they wanted like me and like a couple other creators to get there early so we could like film the space because they had Severance stuff. I was so stoked and stuff from like the other shows. And then they're like, all right, you guys should stand right here. The cast is going to come in and like, we're going to grab them for you guys. I'm like, what?
Whoa. Okay.
I'm like, okay, sure. And then they start to come in, and I'm like, she's like, oh, Ike, like here we have some creators. I'm like, Sal Saperstein. If you guys watch the show, you'll know. I was freaking out, but like we're taking pictures with them. They're like, the woman that's working at Apple, so nice. She's like, do you want me to intro you to this person? Catherine O'Hara's right here.
What?
Seth Rogen. Did you get the video? Did you get the picture? And as we're like, I'm standing like this close to Seth Rogen. And everyone is like, Seth, this is my wife. She's a writer. I'm an executive. So great. We love the show. And can we get a picture? Like, oh, my wife's right there. Can we take it? I was like, I feel like I'm at the zoo. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I feel so bad because he's just like,
oh, but.
And I'm like, but he knows. She's telling me they know they need to be nice because these are the Emmy voters. But then like part of me, I'm like, I feel so bad being like, hey, you're an animal at the zoo. Can I get a picture too? But it's like,
I feel too guilty asking anyone for anything.
it was so scary. But then I'm like, I have like, the people from Apple that invited me. I'm like, I need to post content about this tomorrow. So I'm like, I need it. But like, I feel so bad.
I feel like that's they must have told them like, you guys need to do this. Like,
I mean, we asked them after we were like, so like they know. They're like, yeah, like they know this is a
They're
situation.
doing their job there.
it's
I
totally
get
different.
that,
It's not the
but
same red carpet shit.
I still feel too
Yeah.
bad. I can't.
It was
They're like, hey, you want to get a photo with him? I'm like, I'm
No.
good. Like, I don't want to bother him. We're chill.
It was just so crazy. Like the room was filled with people, and everyone was just like, "Hey!" It was crazy.
And they're probably not used to that because I feel like, back in the day, they would just go to the red carpets. There was like specific rules, and now it's totally different. Like TikTok,
It's so
Instagram, it's like
different,
man.
free game. Like
It's different.
and it's actually very smart that they're told to like be more open to like getting photos and talking to different people.
Well, that's how you
Yeah.
promote stuff
Yeah.
nowadays.
I mean, they're trying to get the Emmy votes, so it makes sense
Right.
that they're like, they have to be nice to all these people and say yes to all these pictures.
Oh my god!
It was just so wild to watch, and I was like so honored to just be in the room and like observe all the industry people and see how the process goes. But
wow.
yeah.
And was everyone like pretty sweet, or were they like?
Everyone
did they
was
seem
so
kind of
nice.
stressed?
And Ike, who plays Sal Saperstein, was the best. He was so excited to be there. And I loved that. I love that energy.
So amazing! Oh my god!
So you knew early on, like, that this was what you wanted to do.
Somewhere in the journalism field, like ever since high school, because I was super into it in high school.
Yeah.
Did you work for the, what's it called, the school newspaper and stuff? Did you do
We
that?
had a broadcast program, and it was a little too intense that honestly I think we like all have like a little trauma from it.
It was like the newsroom.
Yes, and it was intense. Like we did competitions.
You did news competitions?
Yeah.
We have the news today. It's like, no, we have the news today. The TV screens.
Yeah, my
back
God.
and forth.
Yeah, we traveled to like different states and did like competitions, and
What?
it was crazy. Either we'd do like a news show, an entire news show in like 16 hours. It was called like Sweet 16. Or they would give you like a prompt and you'd have to do like a whole news story on it. And for a while I thought 60 minutes type of content, like that's what I wanted to make. Like it was like my dream job.
Wow.
So somewhere in the realm, that's where I wanted to land.
Which I get that. That makes sense because it's like that is to me 60 Minutes is like, oh my God, journalism. But journalism has changed.
Yeah.
It's totally morphed and you're kind of going
And
with
on
it.
weekends, you release a video that's about 60 minutes. So, hey,
Jesus Christ.
go now.
Just
that was
go.
cool.
Just go.
Built up for that joke.
Help us all.
Sick.
But you do release a video every weekend. TCAP.
That's an interesting. Is that like the journalism dream job? Is that like SNL for journalists? 60 Minutes.
I saw like the Diane Sawyer of it all. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
Dateline.
I guess it depends like what
What
you
realm
like,
of
because
it?
at the time it was like Juliana Rancic if you like wanted to be in entertainment news, or like Ryan Seacrest
Yeah.
was like the dream job.
Yep.
And now it's like those jobs kind of don't exist anymore. Like a lot of influencers are doing like the red carpet coverage.
Yep.
That's kind of like the same.
Mario
we've
Lopez,
talked
extra.
about with like sketch comedy, how it's changed. Like when I started acting, it was like SNL. That's it for
That's
comedy.
it.
And now it's like, is it like there's so much more in like the internet sphere.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's what happens when you
fascinating.
when you can record yourself, you can like make so many things. That's why it's like when I go down those deep dives of those TikTokers and I love it, I'm like, oh, like journalism is totally different now. Like there's people who like work in these big studio places and they're gathering and they're editing and it's like, well, she just did all that on her own on her TikTok.
Yeah,
and I'm watching it and I'm loving it.
It's crazy how like quick it can be like on your phone and people don't always want like the whole big like it took them a couple days type of deal.
Do you have do you work with a team that helps you like find out what the next thing is? Like you said you were
researchers.
Did Call Her Daddy, like you were waiting for some information.
I should.
You're doing your own
You're
thing.
sitting there like, I need that.
It's like me and like my friends will text me and be like, oh my gosh, did you see this? And I'm like, oh yeah. Like
You've got sources.
Someone sent me yesterday a DM and they were like, you need to see this. And I was like, I just posted a TikTok. Like they were like, oh my gosh, I like just had a vision. Like you needed to see this. So
That's so funny. Your friends all know. Like
yeah, or they're into it too.
Yeah.
And so they'll like tell you.
Yeah.
But if you had someone helping you.
It would be great. I'd love it.
I mean, it's just amazing how much content you do and how much you have to gather.
You upload every day pretty much? Like you upload something every day.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's insane.
And then so then your TCAP is like, how would you describe that? As like, because I watched it, is it like the week, the whole weekly thing that's been going on with any updates?
It's usually like on Sundays, I'll post like a TCAP of like small stories that I like didn't make a full video on. So it'll be like Alex Earl on Dancing with the Stars. Doesn't need a full deep dive.
Yeah.
But like I'll throw it in there and then sometimes like just more like silly stories or updates, small updates, like things that don't need like 10 minutes plus.
Interesting.
Right. Okay. So like little.
Yeah, like throw like
snippets. 5
or so stories together for like Sunday.
We're just talking about Dancing with
Can
the
you
Stars.
ever take a break?
I definitely take breaks. Like this past weekend, I like didn't really work, but it's because like.
And look at all that happened.
It's like.
And we didn't know.
And we missed it. Sorry
and
guys, I
Justin
wasn't
Bieber
there.
got away.
My birthday.
But nobody would have known because it's like Monday through like Thursday.
And nothing
I was just like
happens.
making a ton of content so that like
I think it's
the rest
fine.
of the weekend I like had stuff that I posted.
Did
but if
you
something
predicted
urgent
what was
comes
going to
up-
happen? You were like, okay.
Sometimes I feel like I can a little bit.
I'm sure you
Here's
can.
what JoJo C was going to do this weekend.
God.
You nail it.
I want to know.
What?
I want to know what JoJo. I just want to.
I want to know if they're dating or not.
I'm kind of like, what's going on with JoJo? Like, I'm just like, is it all an act? Like,
I need to
I feel
know.
like they are very.
Someone
to
saw
me, they're
them
very
kiss.
aware.
How often do
Someone saw them kiss. There was like a picture of the two of them in a pool somewhere in Mexico, and they kissed.
How did they get that picture?
Right,
Like-
like her mom probably leaked it online.
She's like, sending it.
But then I'm like, are they just doing it because she's like new music coming out,
Yeah,
or
how
does she
often do you think-
actually like him? Like, what's going on?
I think that's what I can't help but think is like how often is stuff kind of like planned to get attention, right? Because
Yeah.
there's the idea of like no attention is bad attention.
Yeah.
Which is a horrible thing, but it's like true for some celebrities. How much of these things it's like, oh, it's drama, it's beef, but it's like, is it even real?
Yeah.
I mean, the
know?
Blake Lively stuff is definitely real.
But
That one, I can't even believe that that's even happening, and that we're not even close to it being over.
No, we're not even close. It's next year. And then after that, it's going to be the aftermath. But I feel like I do think do you think like people's managers, and you probably don't, I don't know if you know this answer, but do you think some people's managers are like, let's kind of push this drama? Do you think that they have any ploy, like selling pictures or like
I'm sure.
selling information? Definitely.
I think, some people it's like a game, and sometimes it's not. But
Right. Like
yeah.
Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber is not a game.
she's
real.
like, no.
That's
She's
real.
done.
He's like, please no.
She's like, please stop. And they want him to move. They're like, just
I
leave.
know people want them out of LA.
They
but
want
she's
him to
like,
leave
"We love
LA."
it here.
Because they're like, if you don't like all the attention, leave. And it's like, but they don't want to, what?
I know. I think sometimes though he does stuff and he posts stuff that keeps the conversation going around them. Like he's kissing SZA's hand at the concert, which I'm sure backstage
that.
SZA's like, Hailey, I love you. Like,
Yeah.
love the Vogue cover. And they're like gassing each other up behind the stage. And then, but like other people on the internet are like, Justin hates Hailey. It just, sometimes it's not in her favor.
It's like never in her favor.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
I don't want that kind of attention
No.
No.
at all.
Oh my God, I'm so glad. I hope we never come across your desk. Like, because if we're there, something bad's happening.
Unless it's like a fun Dancing with the Stars announcement.
Oh.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Would you
Who do
go
we-
on Dancing with the Stars?
We should not send me. We should not send me.
I
No.
would die. I would get like so many
That'd be
snacks.
one of those unfortunate. That'd be one of those unfortunate things where if they reached out, this is ridiculous to throw this out. This would never happen. But if Dancing with the Stars reached out and they're like, Shayne, we need you. I can't say no.
And they
because
got
it's
you
too
gotta.
funny.
And they put you in a zip up full suit.
Benson style.
I become Benson Boone.
And it's
You're gonna do
stuff
the
right
flip.
here.
I'm gonna do a flip and I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna land on my
wanna see you
head,
do a flip.
die mid stage.
I do not wanna
I can be the first Dancing with the Stars contestant who dies on stage. I'd be
can't.
remembered forever.
And who would they set you up with? I hope someone's super feisty.
No, here's what you want to hear what I do? Here's what I do. I get on Dancing with the Stars. I come out wearing a mask the whole time, and they're like, wrong show.
Wrong
This is not
show.
You
the
think
Masked
it's
Singer.
the Masked Singer, but I just do that for every
No.
episode.
That show, who wrote that show? I feel like they were all on
Masked Singer.
acid.
They're
It is
all
the
on acid
craziest
out
show
there.
I've ever
And they
heard of.
sing like pitched. I'm like, you know what? I could do that.
Yeah, exactly. And
It's
like,
not their real voice, which
and then
I'm like, great.
The worst thing is ever is when they take off their mask and they're like, oh,
Oh my God. It's
so
the guy from those
rude.
commercials.
it's you, the Geico guy.
God.
I love you. What's
They're
your
always
name?
guessing like crazy stuff. They're like, is it Taylor Swift?
They're like, it's Madonna.
okay,
It's
get real.
Barack Obama.
And then they take it off. They're like, oh my God, Vanderpump? Right?
Vanderpump.
Right?
Okay.
Okay, so do you watch a lot of TV to like also get information? Like, do you watch like reality shows at all? Like, or you just
Sometimes. It depends. Usually, more recently, it's been like a lot of like docu-series that I will talk about. But sometimes reality TV for like TikToks and like short form stuff, I should watch it more because everyone's like super into like Summer House, Vanderpump,
Yeah.
Real Housewives,
Right.
The Mormon Wives. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so behind. But I
Ian
need
Ian
to.
is big.
Ian and
on
Angela love
Real Lives
Mormon
of
Wives.
Wives.
I watched the first season.
You seem like
And
you
once
have a-
Benson Boone stops his break, he'll be back on there.
Wait, he was never on there. Could you
They should
imagine?
get him on.
Kidding.
He just
should get
flips
him
the
on.
whole
Once he
time.
You know
goes back
what?
to
They're
being
going to go
Mormon.
to a Benson concert next year.
Yes.
Watch that. That's what's going to happen.
And they're gonna zoom in on his crotch, and they're like, "Wow,
There they are divided.
divided but together."
Just like
Divided
Mom
we
Pop.
backflip.
Wow.
Wow, there's just
Yeah.
like so much that I want to pick your brain about, but like,
Before you came here today, you'd never heard of us, right?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I was like, we never end up in the drama, so maybe you didn't.
My friend actually texted me and she was like, oh, you should say this, but I don't remember what she said. But I guess like she said you did theater or something. There's a mutual involved. But yeah.
I did. Who did? Who did theater?
not
One of my friends,
Said
I don't know, said someone that you know did theater with her.
Angela,
I don't know.
me,
I gotta look.
maybe not.
maybe Angela.
That's
think-
wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe-
I did know enough to tell my friends, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. For her to be like, wait, you're doing that today. Let me
Whoa.
Biggest celebrity podcast right here. I'm just kidding.
better than call her daddy. Better than my 4 a.m. wake up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is a better call.
We're
time.
having Jane Goodall on.
No, that was so random. What was that about?
We.
What
I
was that
wish.
about?
I don't know.
And I love her because I had to do like a 4th grade thing on her where I like was having like a gorilla or like the chimpanzee with me, and I did a whole thing on her. I had to dress up as her, but then seeing her on Call Her Daddy, I was like, "What's she
You're
about
at the front of the class being like, Jane Goodall's in the news. She's saying the chimpanzees are having a ton of drama right now, and oh my god, you guys,
Wait, why? Yeah, I don't know why she was on Call Her
I
Daddy.
didn't watch that one,
so funny.
but
I'd love to have her on and just talk the whole time about Call Her Daddy.
What's up, you fucking crazy bitches? We're here with
The Jane Goodall, the craziest bitch alive.
she's real
bitch.
wild.
She loves wildlife. This bitch saved some chimps. And she's still doing it. How's
They
that
cut
long
over
white
and
hair?
she's just like, thank you for having me
Yeah.
today.
No, seriously. I'm like, I feel like I didn't even see her in the teaser. It was just like a stuffed animal on the chair. And I was like, who the f is coming on?
She's like, this is my last day on Earth. Let's discuss.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Where was Jane?
oh my God, where was Jane? She clearly wasn't there
Could have been an
because
important question.
could have saved. I
Wow.
wonder if Call Her Daddy asked Jane about Harambe.
Well, Jane cares about chimpanzees, gorillas.
And you love chimpanzees.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I think Jane Goodall cares about all the primates.
Nope.
Nope, just chimpanzees.
Could you imagine? She's like, all right, what fucking other animals do you hate? What animals are pieces of shit? And Jane's
Oh
like, well,
my gosh.
I actually don't know Jane's voice at all.
I don't know either.
I don't think I ever heard it.
I didn't see a clip from this, so
Yeah.
You're not caught up on the Jane Goodall.
She has too much
Gossip.
content to watch.
Yeah, she can't
I
keep up
knew
with.
Jane
yeah.
wasn't going to be giving me the tea.
Yeah, I do.
No.
I do have one question though. Do you watch content for just your enjoyment?
Yeah, who do you watch
Yes.
just purely for fun?
Yes. I mean, I'm just like always scrolling. So it's like whatever lands on my page, it's like sometimes it's for work and sometimes it's just like for fun.
Enjoyment.
Yeah.
Do you watch movies? You go to the movies?
Oh, yeah. I love going to the movies. I haven't seen Lilo and Stitch. I want to see so bad. I've been hearing all of the criticism of how they changed the movie.
Oh,
Yeah, I've been hearing tidbits of this
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
But I like going to the movies.
Good.
End
Nice.
of the year, catching all the Oscar noms.
same.
I got to see it so I could judge it, you know?
Yeah, of course.
makes it more fun.
Would you ever do? You don't do videos based off of like. You don't do videos based off of like those type of celebrities, right? Not really.
Not really, unless it's big, like the "Don't Worry, Darling" drama was
Oh, yeah.
so crazy,
That
and then
was
obviously that
hilarious.
it ends with us. That did get me to the theater.
Right.
Oh, of course.
I needed to see it
Well,
like
that-
right when it came out because I was like, all right, let me go see it.
And I needed to see it.
So it's like sometimes there is drama.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, let's go see this for work, I guess.
yeah.
For work.
And
Bring
then-
my pen and paper.
So you watch movies, but do you go on vacation? Can you go on vacation?
Yeah, I
Okay,
feel like
good.
I just bring my laptop like anywhere and my mic and see what happens.
I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it. You're a
Also,
one man
like
band.
festivals too, like all of like
Yeah.
Coachella, Stagecoach. I was like, I felt like I was like on the scene, like reporting live.
Yeah.
that's what it was
Yeah.
giving.
That's cool.
You're doing cooler things in 60 minutes. Let's be real.
Yeah, 60 minutes.
60
can
minutes.
never-
Nobody watches 60 minutes
me a
anymore.
break.
Even though I did back in the day.
I'm gonna
yeah.
take a nap for 60 minutes.
Oh God, that's your second 60-minute joke,
Hell yeah.
and it
Hell
didn't
yeah.
quite hit.
I can't wait to. No, that's me dunking on 60 minutes
you
every
needed
single
a
episode.
Benson Boone
They're my
flip
biggest
hit.
opponent. Hate them. I'm causing beef with 60 minutes. That's who I'm choosing.
They're done.
It was
They're
always
done.
on
Are they
before-
done? Good.
How many f***ing 60 minutes can you f- up right
I
now?
can't.
Okay.
Okay.
It
All
was
right.
just, it was always on right before Survivor. So my parents and I watched
No, I always remember.
I love Survivor. I'm probably me and like 3 other people in this office watch Survivor.
it. I haven't seen
'Cause
it in
everyone's
a
like,
minute,
"What?
but it
Why?"
was so good.
They're like, "Why are you still watching this show? Isn't it done?" I'm like, "No, it's not done."
They just announced, I think, season 50's cast.
Okay.
Yeah, it has Mike White, right?
And it has Mike White for the second
Is it?
time.
I didn't really dive into it today.
I only know about
He's
this 'cause
gonna be
Tommy-
on. That's
He's-
kind of crazy.
For the second time. He's already been on.
Yeah, he's already been on.
He
That's
loves
how
Survivor. He
some
loves
of the people
Survivor.
that were on his season have been in White Lotus,
Oh my God. Wait, you're
just
so
like in
right.
the backgrounds.
You're so right. I knew that. His season was so good because he was like a reporter on that season because his comments about people.
His
and
commentary
He was
so
there doing
good.
research for his show.
He was, but I will say,
He
like,
was.
he really connected with people and like made like solid friends. But there's this viral clip of him drinking a big glass of wine because he won one of the challenges, and he's searching for an idol, and he's like, "Where is it? The f- is the idol?"
So Tanya coded.
Oh yeah,
God.
exactly.
Wow.
But yeah, that's the new cast of.
So sick.
Wow, I need to look at who else is gonna be on. I just saw like the big announcement where they're like all collaged in, and I didn't look at the names yet.
I mean, I didn't either. I got a text this morning from Angela saying like, "Oh my God, the Survivor cast," and I was like, "You watch?"
Mike White.
Yeah.
We love him.
Excited.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, this was incredible.
This was so amazing. I feel like I've known you my
We-
whole life.
You walked in, and before we started recording, we already started talking. And I was like, okay, let's start recording because this is just real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pop
Yeah.
culture educated.
It's wild how much
up to
information
date. Now
you
it's
have.
like not third party.
Yes.
You're up to
First
date.
hand.
I know everything now.
Yeah.
But by the time this episode airs, I've forgotten all.
You're just
of it.
gonna do a backflip and break your
I'm gonna
neck.
do a backflip. All right.
Backflip.
But
and you're gonna be on
hopefully by the
ground.
time this airs, my Benson Boone impression through the roof.
I can't wait to hear it.
I think
Yeah.
it could be really fun. I've got the mustache.
You do.
It's just
Kind
like
of
a little longer in the back,
I need
and then
to.
you got
I'll
it.
have to wear a wig.
Yeah.
And I'll have to. We'll have to tie me up to the ceiling so I can do.
You ready
backflips.
for that suit?
No.
Whoa.
But Benson isn't either.
Apologize to your balls first.
He's
and
not
then put it on you.
either. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
wow.
God. Spill Sesh, if you haven't watched it, heard it, go to Spill Sesh. It's amazing. If you want all of your news, I do. I'm going to be listening to it every day now. And now you get all the information.
Yeah. Now I know.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
being
for having
here.
me, guys.
This was so great.
Yeah, it was so fun.
How can people find you? I mean, we'll put it in the description.
Just Spill Sesh everywhere. The long form on YouTube, short form on TikTok, Instagram. I'm everywhere you want to see pop culture.
Fantastic.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.